Today, I'm going to show you how to do natural glowy makeup, but not the kind of glowy makeup that wears off in a matter of hours. I use my proven techniques to create this glowy makeup look so that it actually is long wearing and will last you throughout the day, but it still looks really natural and it doesn't look cakey at all in person. Typically, more glowy natural makeups don't last as long, whereas more glam makeup actually does last a longer time throughout the day, but this tutorial gives you the best of both worlds, so let's dive right into it. Obviously, for glowy makeup, we need hydrated skin. We cannot have dry, flaky skin. I don't know about you guys, but I find it a little bit tricky sometimes to find skincare that actually works well underneath makeup. Sometimes when I wear skincare underneath my makeup, I notice that I'll experience pilling or my makeup won't last as long throughout the day. So this lineup is really good if you want your makeup to last a long time, but to still have that hydrated, plump glow. If you have not tried the Rhode Glazing Milk, it is so good. I use this almost every single day. This wears so good under makeup, and I really feel like any type of skin could wear this. I have like normal combo skin, but I think this would be good on oily skin because it's not too heavy, but it's also really hydrating and like plumping for dry skin. Really recommend this one. I just take a little bit on my hands, maybe like this much. And then I just work it into my skin. By the way, I'm gonna link everything that I use down in the description below. So if you wanna know where to get these products, just check out the description. I really love when I can find a skincare product that feels really light on the skin, but gives me intense hydration, kind of like a heavy moisturizer would. It's like the best of both worlds. For eye cream, I've really been loving this one by Murad. This is their Targeting Eye Depuffer, and it actually has a metal tip, so it feels really nice and cooling when you apply it underneath your eyes. And I do feel like when I wear this product consistently, I do notice that the lines underneath my eyes and kind of just like the puffiness, oh, that feels so good. The metal tip, oh, it is just so nice. But I do see actual results when I use this eye cream consistently. Eye cream is one of those things that you're either gonna notice results or you're not. And I can notice when I'm using an eye cream that just isn't doing me any favors. My under eyes start to get more dry looking and my little fine lines will be way more noticeable. So a good eye cream goes a really long way. For the last step of my skincare, I'm using the D'Alba First Spray Serum. And let me tell you, this is not sponsored or anything like that, but this is one of the most impressive skincare lines that I've ever used personally. This is so good for sensitive skin. And just to give you a little backstory, my husband is actually, he has such sensitive skin. Like everything he uses basically breaks him out or gives him hives or makes him have dry patches. It's just really hard to find him skincare. And anything from D'Alba, his skin just absolutely loves. I've used a lot of products from D'Alba and I have honestly liked them all, but this one's really good for glowy skin in particular. You can wear this under makeup, you can wear it over makeup, but in today's look, I'm wearing this under my makeup. I really love the way this serum smells. It just smells so good. And again, kind of like the Rhode serum, it goes on very light and airy and doesn't feel heavy, but it gives you the moisture that something heavier would give. And it also gives your skin a really nice radiant glow. This is a really easy product to just spray on if you're wearing no makeup to give your skin a little bit more life. My skin is already really glowy and plump and healthy looking, but for this look, I'm going for a truly glowy makeup look. So I'm going in with the Say Glowy Super Gel in the shade Star Glow. Just wait till you guys see this glow. It is so pretty. I just like to take a couple dots of that on my face, and then I just work this into my skin using my fingers until it looks nice and even. So now the skin is really, really glowy. I think this looks so pretty. I love like a juicy, glowy skin. And you have to be kind of careful when you apply a bunch of skincare and then you go in with a foundation or tinted moisturizer. Again, I've tried so many different combinations of skincare and makeup, and this one just works really good. So I'm gonna go in with the Hourglass Veil Hydrating Skin Tint. This tinted moisturizer in particular has never pilled on me or given me any issues, so I love that about this. I'm just gonna apply a small amount of this to the back of my hand. This is a little dark for me, but it's okay. We're gonna make it work. And I just got these new brushes from Morphe. Isn't this kind of weird? It's like super skinny, but let's try to apply this tinted moisturizer with this brush, shall we? This foundation brush actually applied that pretty well. I was expecting that it could be a little bit streaky, but it actually is not bad. Of course, I went in with a really light hand, but what I found this brush really good at is like getting into all the little detailed areas around my brows and my mouth and stuff like that. So I'm excited to keep testing it. I'm gonna link this exact one down below. I think these come in a set, but if these come individually, I'll link it for you. For concealer, I'm sticking with my tried and true. My favorite concealer of all time at the moment is the Armani Luminous Silk Perfect Glow Concealer. I really think this concealer would be good for anyone. It is a medium buildable coverage, but it really looks very light and not cakey on the skin. It looks very natural and skin-like. You can make this look very soft and natural, or you can go full glam with it. It really doesn't matter. And I love that it doesn't crease as much as other concealers. I hate when concealers are thick and heavy and crease. It's just a nightmare. This one has given me no problems. I cannot recommend it enough. And I just used my Hourglass concealer brush to blend all of that out. So at this point, I definitely need a little bit of warmth on my face, and I chose this bronzer for a very specific reason. This is the Juvia's Place Cream Bronzer in the shade Buttercream. I think you can get these bronzers at Ulta. They're on the affordable side, and they actually have really fine little pearls throughout the formula, so it gives you like a very natural, glowy, bronzy finish without being too shiny or glittery. Just wait till you see it applied. I'm picking that up on one of the new Morphe brushes. It's the Morphe 243, and I'm applying that on the perimeters of my face, so I'm focusing it on the outskirts of my forehead, on my cheekbones to enhance them, and then just a little bit underneath my chin as well. I love how this bronzer is warm. It makes my skin look sun-kissed, but it applies honestly in a really nice and natural sheer way. You really don't have to work too hard to blend it out like other cream bronzing products. I just really like the finish. I think it looks very natural, very glowy. Time for blush. These are my favorite glowy dewy blushes. They're by Say. This is their Dew blush in the shade Sweetie. This is like a very youthful popsicle pink almost, and it is just so pretty on the cheeks. It really does give a very playful, kind of cheeky, youthful look. And a little goes a long way, so I just dot a little bit of this on the cheeks. And then I'm just blending that out with my IT Cosmetics Cream Blush Brush. It's always better to apply a little bit less at first and to build up more blush later, because if you apply too much right off the bat, it's kind of hard to fix that. And if you haven't seen my last video, Trends That Need to Die in 2024, the super crazy pink blush trend kind of needs to die in my opinion. If you haven't seen that video, it's a little bit of a spicy one. Definitely expressed some controversial opinions apparently, but yeah, I'll put it on the screen in case you want to go watch that one. But I think this blush looks really nice and really natural. It's also a clean formula, which I really appreciate. So here's the thing, I like my face to be glowy everywhere except not under my eyes and not around my mouth. So I'm gonna go in with my Huda Beauty setting powder in the shade Cupcake, and I'm just gonna pick that up on a powder puff and set really well under my eyes as well as around my smile lines, around my mouth. I just like these areas to be a little bit more matte even when I wear glowy makeup. So we're gonna add a few more details to the base later on, but for now I'm gonna set my face with the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray. This is going to allow for our makeup to remain glowy but actually last all day long. Setting spray is a really important step if you want to rock a glowy makeup but you struggle with it kind of slip sliding off your face throughout the day really easily. Setting spray is going to be your best friend, and then also the other little details we'll do later in this video. You're going to want to stick around for that, but yeah, set your face really well. So I like to say while my face is marinating, I'm going to move on to my eyes. I'm going in with the Codger Weiss Single Shadow in the name Grace. I love the name of the shadow, but I also love the metal packaging. It's super heavy, but it's also like very sleek and just like fun to open. It just slides open like this. So cool. This is another luxury clean beauty brand. I'm super into clean beauty brands lately. And this is just a really pretty cool toned brown. I'm gonna apply that all over my crease and then take whatever's left over on my brush on my lower lash line. This is gonna kind of act like eye contour. I wanna keep the eyes pretty simple, but I do wanna give them a little bit of definition, so that's why I'm doing this. See how natural and soft that brown color is on the lids? I've been using this all the time and it's become one of my favorite shadows. I think for this eye look, I want to go for something quite light and bright and glowy and almost a little bit frosty, because I think frosty makeup is going to be a big thing this year. I'm going in with the Huda Beauty Icy Nude eyeshadow palette, and I'm picking up this white shade Avalanche, and I'm just packing that all over my lid with a flat eyeshadow brush. You don't have to go in with an almost white eyeshadow. You can use any eyeshadow that's a few shades lighter than your skin tone. I'm just really pale, so I have to go in with something pretty bright to get the effect that I'm looking for. I'm pretty happy with how that's looking, but now to add a little bit of glow and shimmer to the lids, I'm going in with the Too Faced Disco Crush eyeshadow in the shade Fairy Dust. And I'm just gonna apply this with my finger. I'm gonna be careful not to pick up too much because these are actually very intense and high impact shadows. So you can either apply them quite heavily so that they look almost like a metallic vibe, or you can apply them more softly like me, and you can get more of like a fairy dust effect, more of like a twinkling eyeshadow topper effect. I'm a little torn on adding a liner or not, but I think I'm gonna add just a baby shadow liner to this look. I'm gonna go in with this like deep plummy brown shade right here and just make the tiniest little eyeshadow liner on my outer corner using a small angled brush. I really want to keep this extremely thin and very hugged tight to my lash line. Okay, I think I'm pretty happy with that. Just a little lift to open and elongate the eyes. I am gonna do my lashes off camera. I'm just gonna apply some individuals and I will be right back. Okay, we're back, we have lashes, and I think the eyes are complete. I wanted it to be simple but effective. I still wanted it to be glowy, but I still wanted it to look natural and wearable. I'm gonna move on to lips now. I'm using one of my favorite lip liners ever. This is the Makeup Forever Wherever Walnut Artist Color Pencil. And I just don't think I'll get over this lip liner. It's so good. It's like a Your Lips But Better sort of shade. It goes with almost any lip color aside from like really bold reds or something like that. This looks good on its own. It looks good with any lip combo, like I said. If you haven't tried this, you should try it. It's worth the hype. I'm gonna overline my lips with this, focusing in the center of my lips the most, and then I'm gonna keep it very close to my natural shape on my outer corners and give it a little bit of shading for a bit of a contoured effect on the outer corners. I think I want to go with a pale nude lip to pair with this look. Whenever I have my lip combo on, it's a ton of products, and whenever people ask me, what are you wearing? I always have to list off a bunch of products, and this lip combo is no different. Okay, we're gonna start by layering the Ilia Balmy Tint in the shade Hold Me on our lips. It's gonna add just a little bit of life to our lips. It gives it a little bit of a rosy effect, maybe like a slightly bitten effect, and just gives them some color. You either love a pale nude lip or you hate it and it reminds you of concealer lips. I personally love it, and I think I found one of the prettiest nude lip shades. This is also by Kaja Weiss. This is in the shade Serene. This is so good for the fair-skinned girls who really just love a super pale lip. But I like to apply this in a bit of a weird way. I like to actually apply it on the back of my hand first before applying it. This kind of just warms it up a little bit because this formula is a little bit drier. And then I take it with my finger and just press it into the very center of my lip. This kind of prevents that crusty, overdone concealer lip effect because you really are able to diffuse this and just melt it into your existing lip combination, and it looks way more natural. This wouldn't be a glowy look without a glowy, glassy looking gloss, and I'm going in with my very own Cheris Cosmetics Water Gloss. This is a clean formula gloss with super high impact. This is one of the glossiest lip glosses I've ever tried. I really poured my heart into making this lip gloss, and the applicator is really nice because you can get a very even application. It almost applies it like a thin sheet of glass, but it's a silicone applicator, so you can very easily wipe off the applicator if anything from your lip combo gets on the applicator, which is huge for me personally. I love how shiny this gloss is. It really just completes the look in my opinion. Let's add the finishing touches. I'm gonna go back in with some blush. This one is by Give. This is their Feeling Cheeky Amplifying Blush Duo in the shade Lasting Love. And this one here is a little bit more on the glowy side, so I think it would go really well with this look, but I actually like mixing these two shades together. So using a Rephr 04 brush, I'm just going to mix both together. And then I like to swirl off the excess just on the palm of my hand. And then I'll very lightly tap that on the cheek. And this just sort of amplified and intensified the color we already had on our cheeks. I love layering a blush. It also really helps to allow for the makeup to last longer when you layer powders on top of creams. Speaking of layering powders on top of creams, I'm gonna actually go ahead and set my entire face, and I know that sounds a little bit weird for a glowy makeup look, but hear me out. If you want your makeup to remain glowy but last all day, you're gonna need a really good powder. I like to use this one from the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Edit Unlocked palette. but any Hourglass setting powder is going to be perfect for this. These powders are really beautiful because they don't completely mattify your face. They do retain the glow underneath. It's almost like a very soft, like ambient candlelit glow that these powder gives. They're really, really beautiful. I don't typically like a glowy powder, but these I will make an exception for. They're not too glowy, they're not too matte, but you do get the benefits of having your makeup last all day. I'm going to take this Repher AA01 brush and just pick up that setting powder. And I'm just going to begin to strategically powder my face, mainly focusing on the areas where I will get a little bit oily throughout the day. This is just added protection, honestly. See how my skin is still glowy and luminous? It doesn't look too mattified and flat. This powder really is the secret weapon to a glowy makeup look, in my opinion. To take the glow to the next level, I'm gonna add a little bit of highlighter. This is one of my favorites by Dior. This is their Backstage Glow Face Palette in the shade Universal. And to kind of match with that frosty vibe on my eyes, I'm going in with this white frosty shade here. This is one of my favorite highlight shades ever. And I'm just gonna apply that to the high points of my cheeks. As you can see, this highlighter is not chunky. It just gives a very pearlescent, natural glow, and it really just hits the light so nicely. Oh, it's so good. I will be so sad if they discontinue this palette. They discontinued the Backstage Contour palette, which I loved so, so much, and I'm a little scared they're going to discontinue this one too. I really hope they don't. I'm gonna put a little bit on the tip of the nose and a little bit on the nose bridge, just a touch, and then maybe a little dusting on my brow bone too. What do we think about this glowy makeup look? Do we like it, or do we prefer more of a matte look? I'm so snoopy. I'd love to hear your opinion down in the comment section. I read all of your comments and I respond to pretty much everyone, so I'm gonna meet you in the comment section. If you want more soft, natural, glowy makeup looks, definitely give this video a thumbs up so I know that you like this sort of content so I can make more. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. It only takes 2 seconds and it really means a lot to me. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.